as you learn the universal laws, you will start to move in a different way. You will start to move with more certainty. You will move from certainty, you will move from knowing to certainty, because you will be equipped with the knowledge of the universe. All man-made laws are under the jurisdiction or based upon universal laws. The law that I want to speak about today is you understanding that whatever you do not learn, you have to repeat. It's like when you're in first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, you're in the school system. The school system is predicated or based upon the universal laws. So if you do not pass the first grade, you cannot graduate to the second grade. If you do not pass the fifth grade, you can't go to middle school, or at least that's how we had it set up in Michigan. You can't go from fifth grade, which is elementary, to middle school, which is sixth grade. And then from sixth grade, you go to eighth grade, which is middle school. Then from there, you go to high school. From there, you need to graduate high school, right? You need to graduate as a 12th grader to move to the university, or to even be qualified. And even there's no guarantee that you're going to get in the university, because there's a lot of people that are applying for college. But the point is this: you cannot graduate to the next level until you pass the tests that are on this level. And so when you see people and you notice that these people are always in the same kinds of situations, because we are products of our habits, right? When you see people that's always dating the same kind of person, you say, man, I saw so-and-so 7 years ago. And 7 years ago, they were going through this in their relationship. And now it's a new person, but that person, they're still going through the same things. And it's because, number one, it could be their selection, but it also could be them that they didn't work on themselves. And so because they haven't learned the lesson that they needed to learn to graduate to the next level, to maybe graduate to be with the right kind of person, or maybe you're making the same mistakes on your job. See, you're not rewarded until you learn. The universe has a reward system, and the system is based upon basically merit. You have to deserve it. You have to get all A's or whatever it is for the ACT test. There are certain scores that they want you to have. Certain scores are going to get you into certain universities. The universal laws are very similar. So you have to learn that maybe you've been choosing the wrong kind of person. Maybe you've been eating the wrong kinds of things. So you continue to eat a certain way, you're going to have diabetes. Now here's the thing about the universe that most people don't understand. Life can be a challenge simply because it gives you the test before it gives you the answers. So sometimes you have to go through things. You have to experience pain. You have to experience grief, because usually pain, grief, discomfort is what makes people move. It usually is what would move a person, discomfort. But then there are some that they're so programmed, they're in their habits to such a degree that they won't move, and then the discomfort gets worse and worse and worse until you're no longer here. Or it happens through your entire life because you won't learn. So maybe you're asking yourself, why are these things continuing to happen to me? Why do I continue to meet the same people? Why do I continue to suffer the same fate at my job? Why do I continue to find myself in the situations? And it's simple. It's because you're not learning. And life is the best teacher, right? It's the best teacher. So you go through a test, you go through pain, but you should learn from it. And once you learn from it, you should apply. And then once you apply, then the universe, the Most High, can say, you learned your lesson. Give them the stamp, let them graduate. Let her get that man that she's been wanting. She now knows how to make better decisions on men. Let them get that job that they want, because they now understand the discipline required. They understand that they need to go to bed at a certain time. They understand how they need to operate. Let them lose the weight, because they understand that no longer eating this is what's required for them. And so when you learn, you graduate. If you don't learn, you continue to repeat over and over. And you see this in the lives of people. It may happen in your life. It may happen in the lives of people that you know, that's close to you. They will not learn the lesson. And they can say, this is how I am. And the universe doesn't care about this is how you are. Because there will adjustments need to be made for success. It's not like you're just born this way and then you arrive. And so sometimes we excuse poor behavior and we say, well, this is how they are. This is how this person is, so I'm going to deal with them. And you can choose to deal with them, but you have to know that others are going to change. It's until you set expectations. See, when you set expectations, you can weed out certain behavior, you can get better behavior. But the most important thing is you won't be wasting your time, which is a limited resource that we have. Even though it's not real, still a limited resource. But when you learn, you continue to graduate. That's all a job is. When you think about it, you get promotions because you learn more. When you learn more, you got more. But guess what? When you learn more, more was expected of you. And many people shrink from expectations. They shrink because they don't want to have to be looked upon for certain things. They don't want responsibility. Accountability, responsibility. Many people don't want it. And so, therefore, you can't be compensated for all of this work if you don't have all of this responsibility. And so it's easy to say, I didn't know, or it's easy to say that nobody told me. It's easy to say that. So you can't want all these things, but you're not doing all these things. Everything is equivalent. Congruency. You're going to get what you put out. And so you're not quite receiving those benefits, the things that you truly desire, because it's simple. You just have to pass the test. You just have to pass the test. Even if you didn't know anything, if you continue to get the same results, do something different. Do something different with yourself each and every day. And you have no choice but to get the results or different results, because that's what we're looking for. We need to try different things to get different results. Because what you do know is your feelings are the feedback mechanism to your life. So if your feelings are not, and I don't mean temporary feelings, we can experience sadness sometime, or grief hits us, these kinds of things. But overall, what you're getting every day in life, if you're feeling a certain way, that is letting you know that you're not in alignment with the things that you want. If you're not feeling fulfilled, if you're not feeling happy, if you're not feeling where you're motivated, inspired, try something different. Because how you feel is the feedback mechanism. Humans are emotional beings. I know we often say as a man, we say, oh, they're emotional. They may be more emotionally wired, and we may be more logical as men, but we all are emotional to a degree. And so you have to pay attention to the feelings. You have to really feel your way through. That's another thing. You have to feel your way, because this is called intuition for a reason. So when you feel your way, you tend to get better results. But you have to pay attention to the feelings. So if I don't feel a certain way about this person, I shouldn't go against that. If I continue to feel a certain way every day, well, then that's an issue, and it's something that I need to fix. And so I need to look around and see, what am I doing? There's some lessons that I need, because the Most High, the universe, communicates with you. But if I don't speak Greek and someone is trying to speak Greek to me, I will never be able to communicate with that person. I'll never be able to understand Greek. So you have to be in alignment and open, because sometimes we're closed. You have to be in alignment and open to understand that you're being told that this is a lesson. This is something that you have to learn, and then you have to pass. You have to pass. You need to get an A. You need to get the job done to get a promotion. And that's what builds you. That's what builds the character. That's what gives you confidence in life, knowing that I've experienced test after test after test, and I've passed the test. I've risen to the occasion each and every time. But when you stay in a certain place, the same thing keeps happening to you. You have to know that it's a test that you're required to pass, that you're not ready to pass, or you haven't put that foot forward. It's really simple. Life is simple. It may not be easy, but it is simple. So it may be certain tests. It may be a conversation you need to have with one of your parents. It may be something that you know you need to do, but you don't want to do, right? It may be something that you know you need to stop eating, but you won't stop. Most of the times we know what we need to do, but here's the kicker: we just won't do it. We won't do it because the spoils, the acquisition of the spoils or the rewards, we don't have that energy. We don't have that desire. We don't feel like it's big enough. The complacency is greater. So that's it. What you do not learn, you will have to repeat in the universe. It's the way it is. You cannot be promoted until you learn and you apply and you show yourself worthy. And that's in any aspect of life. Because when you're not ready, and you see this with people, when you're not ready, they're asking for something. You don't realize that you're being protected. When you're not ready for something, and then you get there and you embarrass yourself, and now you can never get that opportunity again. So sometimes we can ask for a certain person, or we can ask for a certain situation. You get there. Listen, when I went to camp with Chicago Bulls, I thought that I was ready for the NBA. I found out that I wasn't ready. When I got to camp, I looked at the three-point line because I was a person that was slashing and go to the basket. Lay up here, lay up here. I'm in there practicing. We got Tyson Chandler. If you know anything about the NBA, we got Tyson Chandler. We got Eddie Curry. We got Jamal Crawford. We had Marcus Fizer, Dalibor Baric, Roger Mason Jr. We had all these guys. It was 8 to 9 guys guaranteed contracts. Man, Jason Williams, the guy that's commentating on ESPN, he was the #1 pick out of Duke. So I'm locking up, playing, hoping. Couldn't make that NBA 3. Man, it seemed like from here to Alaska. Couldn't make that NBA 3 because I wasn't used to shooting it. I thought that I was ready, but I could never get over that hump with shooting that NBA 3 consistently. Now I'm much better, but that time has passed. I'm much better. I can knock it down consistently, but it took years for me to get to that point. So while I thought that I was ready for that NBA level, and as a point guard, you've got to be ready. So there were some things, reading the pick and roll, and I can say that honestly, reading the pick and roll, making the right pass. So therefore, cut from the team. And cut. Like P. Myers told me, he's like, oh, we got something for you in Europe, Italy, one of them spots, which he didn't give me. I ended up going to Turkey. But my point is simple. Pay attention to, I won't call it failure because failures are events. They're not people. So your shortcomings, pay attention. You got to learn from those shortcomings. You got to understand. But my point is that sometimes you can be put in a situation, you can really want it, you can push for it, and then you get in it, and now you're one chance. Even though I did get another chance with the Detroit Pistons. But my foot was broke. I was out for 5 months. So those were my 2 real opportunities in the NBA. Either way, I wasn't ready. Be ready so that when your opportunity comes, when it's time to show that you've learned, you can stick. Because sometimes all you get is one opportunity. just one. Sometimes. Pass the test so that you don't have to live the agony or live the pain. I see it in many people. Relive, it's like Groundhog Day. You're reliving the same thing each and every day. When all you got to do is just open yourselves up. Open yourself up. Take some time, look at what's going on, and start to make different steps. And that way, the environment is going to give you feedback options. You'll know from there, I can make this move. Okay, that was the wrong move. But you have to learn, and you have to show that you've learned in order to graduate.